Hey, y'all, we're tuned in for another episode of Make That Radio Show. I'm your host, Andres, and this is Music and Business Talk. We have, uh, by the way of, I would say, Atlanta, we have Official, who is a model and artist, and I'm sure a few other creative things in between. So, Official, thank you for, coming onto the platform.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
So, I was sitting there, one, looking at through your Instagram and noticed that you have been modeling for a few years now,
Yeah.
quite some time. So let everybody know your background and like what got you into modeling. Because one, I know that from speaking with other models, it's not like a really easy industry
Mhm.
as far as building your brand and building yourself up to a certain level. Two, I've talked with other models where they've had situations where people would take advantage of them. And it's not like there are success stories, but then there are the horror stories.
Yep.
So what made you want to jump into it? And then also, what kind of experiences have you been having thus far?
Okay. So my thing is, been modeling since 2017. And
Mm-hmm.
what made me want to get into it is more so because as I was a kid, I used to sing a lot. My family knows
Mm-hmm.
this. Everybody that knows me knows this. I have a beautiful voice, but
Mm-hmm.
it when it comes to the industry, you have to be very careful because you don't know when it comes to contracts and signing things
Mm-hmm.
what you're getting yourself into as a very young age when you don't have
Mm-hmm.
that type of background. So you want to build yourself
Yeah.
up, you want to make yourself known. And I just started modeling. I mean, I remember myself in college modeling, and people wouldn't believe it. I used to Uber to the studio or Uber and Lyft, no
Mm-hmm.
car, no nothing, just me, a girl who literally started from the very bottom. It did
Mm-hmm.
not happen overnight. Obviously, this is almost 10 years later.
Yeah.
But like it did start like that. And then I do have a couple horror stories of my own where there would be some people that are in the industry, they portray themselves as a manager or
Mm-hmm.
a producer or
Yeah.
I'm a photographer.
Mm-hmm.
And I met with them, of course. Um, One guy, I'm not gonna put his name on here, but Lord, I got there, we went over some things, and he wanted me to provide sexual in order to get me where I was gonna go. Of
Yeah.
course, that never happened. I don't
Mm-hmm.
even work with him. That day was a cutoff for me
Yeah.
because even though I was by myself, I wasn't premature in the head.
Yeah.
So I knew like business and how to keep that just that. And honestly, I would say that that right there got me in the doors I got into with modeling because
Mm-hmm.
people would see how much respect I have for myself. And I'm like, dang, like you ain't never gonna be able to pull one over on her. Like
Yeah.
that's not gonna happen. But then what also happened is by me being that way, people wanted to work with me in business. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
good for a brand because I do know how to carry myself.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, I just continued to build my portfolio, building it up so much that yeah, I would do freelance work. I would do time for print work. But that was building my portfolio in those earlier years to where when I do see somebody that's brandable or that's someone that is reputable, I can actually be like, I've done this. I would have something to put on the table for myself.
Yeah.
So then, after that, I ended up being so established to where I ended up being put in with Icon Studios of Atlanta. And
Mm-hmm.
I actually got to be in a model industry where we were changing clothes, we were doing this, we were doing that, and actually seeing what it was like on a smaller level, of course,
Mm-hmm.
but on a level to where this is the stuff you need to have, like print cards and portfolio and headshots and stuff like that. After doing that, that is when I started actually landing and branding myself in TV. So
Mm-hmm.
I would do background work. I would do background actor. I would do stunts. I actually did stunts for Wakanda Forever. Oh my God. I
Mm-hmm.
remember coming home. My daughter
Mm-hmm.
was little. My daughter's 5 now, but
Yeah.
she was little. And I literally had a bruise on my leg.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so purple and black. Like It was insane because you you hurt yourself, and people don't see that. They don't see what it takes to like actually be in the model industry and what it is to like modeling. You have to brand yourself in the beginning. In all
Hmm.
reality, you
Right.
can't just take pictures. And I've had people tell me, well, it's so easy to take pictures and you just pose for a camera. That's not true. That's not true,
Yeah.
like at all.
And it's like only one aspect of it.
It's one aspect of posing for a camera. It is so much more than that. Like, you have to understand those photographers work their butt off. They
Mm-hmm.
definitely do, especially mine. He's amazing. He is my manager. He is my photographer. He is my backbone when I need him. I call him when I need him. He has all my clothing picked out. He has other designers that he like works with. It's really
Mm-hmm.
actually it's fun. It's fun. The traveling is fun, but people only see what they want to see out here, and
Mm-hmm.
honestly, that's the downfall of it. Because when you come from nothing, people that see you with nothing, they
Mm-hmm.
feel like it's nothing, literally. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like you'll try to be this person, and then they'll put you as another person. Oh, well, you didn't have it and all that. I don't believe this and all that. Well, believe it because it's happening. And then there was there was a lot that I did last year that I can't put out just yet,
Mm-hmm.
but only because it hasn't dropped, and it is on a TV station, and it was really really awesome. And I was on there with some high people that everyone
Mm-hmm.
knows, and I just can't wait for season 2 to drop, honestly. Like, I can't wait.
So, are you at the point in your career now where you're transitioning from just modeling to actually like acting and
Yes.
doing more like trying to get and land leading roles?
Yes, I am. And I'm trying to like, and you never want to, you always want to do your research, especially when you're moving from one thing to another, because
Mm-hmm.
you don't know if you're actually wanting to do acting, because acting is tough.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough. I've watched it. I've watched background. I've done a lot of stuff to like see how they do things. It's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're creative, you can do it. It does take time, it takes discipline, but you can get it done if you stick to it, yes.
So, with like AI and technology changing,
Ooh,
and then where I saw where there's a couple studios pulling out of the Metro Atlanta area and going overseas, how has that affected opportunities coming your way? Because so for instance, like when the phone came out and it was more, I guess, high definition aspects and stuff, people were like, well, photographers are not going to have a job and this is going to put them out of business. And I was like, no, because there's a skill set that comes along with it. How has technology and AI affected your creative process and just being in the industry?
I would say it hasn't really affected it as of now, but that is
Mm-hmm.
something that's going to be happening
Mm-hmm.
because of technology upgrading like that. It is going to set some things on different paths, not only for modeling, movies. Like,
Mm-hmm.
literally, these movies, I mean, are you going to need actors? Are you going to need background? Are you going to need this stuff? Because the technology is expanding so much, it's like a hit or miss. But
Mm-hmm.
right now, I would say it's affecting me a little bit because there's some other stuff that's came out. Like, people use, for instance, dolls. Like, human figure dolls for models, and they you can mold them how you want them, you can edit how
Mm-hmm.
you want them, and you don't even need a human anymore. Like, i've
Mm-hmm.
i've, I've actually witnessed that on multiple platforms. It's kind of crazy, but it's
Mm-hmm.
true. So that's one thing. And then when it comes to movies, there's so much technology that, yeah, there'll be roles for like humans
Mm-hmm.
or actors, but it'll be clips and the things that technology can't yet do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would imagine that, at some point, people would get tired of like the fakeness that
Yeah,
technology is
that's what
because,
I definitely agree. I definitely agree with that. Like, because when you look at like how these people are using these AI,
hmm
I mean, some of it you can't tell that it's not real, and then some of it you actually can.
hmm
But the thing about it is, it's like you guys are gonna get tired. You're literally gonna get tired of this, and then you're gonna want the real thing again. There's no, it's not gonna play as long as people think it is. It's
yeah,
not.
yeah.
No.
I don't think it will either. Because like you said, at the end of the day, I believe we're all connected. You know what I'm saying? Because we're human and we have
Yep.
emotions.
We have
And
motion.
technology and AI doesn't have a soul. I don't care how much you program it and prompt it to do stuff. It doesn't give you that soul feeling, that human
Mhm.
connection. And sometimes it's actually our imperfections. So like with music, I've heard AI music, I've seen different tools used in the studio,
Yep.
which are great tools,
Mhm.
but sometimes it's hearing the voice crack. And because it cracked a certain way that it resonated with me as a listener.
Yep.
Pitch Perfect is not gonna, you know what I'm saying, appeal to people. And then we get, again, I think we get tired of it. So I think it should be a tool that people just use.
That people just use, and I wish it could just be that, because
Mhm.
they're taking the how you say it?
Yeah, authenticity.
Yeah, authenticity out
hmm
of stuff.
hmm
And that's what I'm more so afraid of when it comes to like modeling and stuff, because that right there can cut jobs. Modeling
hmm
gigs, acting gig, it don't even matter. Like right there. Because it's like if something else can do it better, then they're gonna be, oh, well, why are you here?
Yeah.
What do we need you for? Like,
I think it makes
what?
things more efficient. I don't necessarily think it's better.
Yeah,
I think sometimes people confuse
the
efficiency
two.
with better, something being
Yep,
better. So
absolutely.
as an entrepreneur, and someone in control of their own brand, how do you secure like your livelihood going forward, being in the industry where things like this, the possibility of jobs and opportunities shrinking every day?
So I feel like, me personally, a savings is
Mm-hmm,
what you invest in first.
mm-hmm,
I feel like managing your money, like you get all this money and then you blow all your money
mm-hmm,
doing buying big giant $1 million houses. No. Like, I feel like when you first start or you're in a position like me and you have stability,
mm-hmm,
keep that stability. Do not
mm-hmm,
live outside of your means.
mm-hmm,
What for what? Why? There's no reason there. Like, there are people that have three people a part of their family and they have 12 bedrooms. You have
yeah,
12 kids? like,
yeah, exactly.
like you have 12 kids? Like, I'm confused. And none of those rooms are being occupied. Is this the hotel for Hotel Transylvania or something? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. But I just feel like you have to know how to manage your money. You have to know where to put your money, and you also have to know how to invest your money.
Mm-hmm,
Like, investing is a big thing. And then not only that, I personally,
mm-hmm,
outside of modeling, I got a degree.
mm-hmm,
I don't care. When it comes to entertainment, that's great and all, but
mm-hmm,
that can fall. My
mm-hmm,
family has always told me, they always told me this: you're never gonna make it. Da, 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 da. You're never gonna make it. When you're a kid, they think that, music is hit or miss. This is back in the day, of course.
mm-hmm,
Music is hit or miss. You got to be good. Now anybody can do it, and same for modeling and acting. But they would say that, and it wasn't all a lie. But now it's like every if it's a hit or miss, because if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. But
mm-hmm,
also, if it's not easy, it just depends on the person, I guess. But then
yeah.
also another thing is, I don't even know like how to even say it, because it's like You just got to know how to invest your funds because, like I said, outside of this, I do have a degree. So if
Hmm.
everything else fails, I use my degree. I
Hmm.
go back to square one, but I still save that money and invest. I still have that fund to depend on.
Hmm.
And that doesn't mean go blow it because I have it. I don't use my money like that. I don't do that. Like as a personal preference. Some
Yeah.
people do, but if you're gonna do that, you better know that you're getting another 500,000 or something somewhere. Like if you're gonna do that. But I do feel like people should invest more, and you don't. And honestly, you don't even have to be in the industry to do that. You have to think logical out here now. But investing is definitely big.
At what point did you like? What was that? That was your mindset because 10 years in a business. First of all, most people don't even make it 10 years in the industry.
Right.
Second of all, you hit these points of success where like you start to get paid for what you're doing. Some people, spend it because it's newfound success,
Yep.
right? So they have to get through that emotional state of it, and then they turn the corner. When did you like, what I'm saying, really turn that corner of I need a plan for the future, I need to invest, I need to save, you know, the industry at best is fickle. So I need to make sure I safeguard myself.
Yes. I did that turning point in 2020. Why? Because I had a child. That's one. That's
Okay.
one thing. I had my
Hmm.
daughter, and I did not want her. Because before that, the first
Hmm.
3 years, oh yeah, I was in college, I was
Hmm.
modeling, I was clubbing, spending
Hmm.
money. I mean, it was insane. Like, and
Hmm.
y'all going out, I'm going. Like, I didn't even think about a car. Like, at the beginning of that 2017 era, 2018, I was splurging money.
Hmm.
Like, and it almost makes me feel bad because now that I'm older, I'm 27, I was like, I look at it, and when you spend your money, you're like, dang, why did I do that? Like, I do look at it now like that because it was a lot of money. I personally didn't have like I was young. I
Yeah.
personally didn't have that safeguard for myself. I was like, yo, I'm about to go split. Everybody going, I'm going. I'm finna go ball. That's how I
Hmm.
thought. But 2020, when I had my daughter, I wanted whatever was best for her. I invested funds in my daughter.
Hmm.
I literally put this, like, nobody can deny this because I put this on every social media how much money I've invested in my daughter. So it's like, I invest that fund in her. So that way, when I'm older, she's older, you don't have to worry about me. You have your own. I'm not.
Hmm.
You don't have to pay. And I hate to say this, but pay my bills
Yeah.
and do that for me. I want you to be successful. And one thing about me, when it comes to my daughter, I also kept her out of the spotlight, just like I do my son. I
Hmm.
never put them in the spotlight. I don't take pictures of them a lot
Hmm.
because I am a model and what I do. And not only that, but I just want them to have a chance at normality.
Yeah.
That's it. I do want them to have a chance at a normal life. They go to regular school,
Hmm.
they go outside, they play, they go to the playground, like they travel. But my daughter, it kind of did suck in the beginning because she went everywhere with me. Like I
Hmm.
was paying for people to watch her while I was in class, while I was out of town. She
Hmm.
was in Cali with me. Like it was a lot. But I wanted her to have a chance at normal. So even when she gets older, if she wants to go to college, because I would never be like, oh yeah, you need to be a singer or a dancer or something,
Hmm.
make you rich. No. You go to college. You can be a doctor. I literally tell her this all the time. Be a
Hmm.
doctor. You
Yeah.
don't have to do anything I've done. I set those standards for my kids because I want them to have a regular life. And if they go off and they be basketball players and stuff, hey, you better bring me a meal back. I'm just kidding. You better bring me a meal back. But no, absolutely not. No. I like their life the way it is. And I
Mhm.
do feel like setting that standard for myself was 2020 when I had my daughter. Yeah, you never believe people when they're like, when you have a first kid or you have a kid,
Mhm.
it'll change your mindset. Oh boy, please. I had my first of all, people didn't even think I was gonna have kids. So let's start there. But
Mm-hmm.
when I had my daughter, my whole life changed.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It went from me being just about me to me making sure I'm doing everything for us or
Yeah.
her. And
Mm-hmm.
now it's like I have my son. It's all about my kids. I do not care about me anymore. My
Mm-hmm.
kids come first. It's God, my kids, then me. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna lead it. I'm gonna lead me right on back up to God because I'm gonna need him to take care of these kids
Yeah.
with
No, I
my
definitely get
husband, of
that.
course.
Yeah.
But yes, absolutely.
So you mentioned earlier about, what I'm saying, your circle and you pursuing your dreams, being a model, singer, and all that. Now that you've made that headway, you've been doing what you've been doing consistently for 10 years or more. Have their perspective about what you do changed? Do they look at you as a success story now, or are they out there bragging about, what I'm saying, well, my friend, my daughter, whomever is out here doing their thing?
So there are a lot of people that stuck with me who were real. And that's
Mm-hmm.
family or friends. I do not care on this platform. I am a very genuine person. Pretty
Mm-hmm.
much I put everything out. So nothing can come back. And if it did, I wouldn't care because I'm gonna speak my mind. I have those genuine friends that are here. Day one, were here in
Mm-hmm.
college, saw me doing what I was doing, making it to class at 7, 8 a.m., and
Mm-hmm.
doing that. And then I have the people that came way before anyone ever knew because my family didn't know I was modeling. I didn't tell them that until I believe maybe 4 or 5 years ago on Facebook. I let my first picture go out.
Oh,
My
wow.
family on my Facebook. They didn't even know.
Mm-hmm.
They had no idea. I was in college. I went to Kentucky. I was traveling. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't even tell my family I was going to another state. I was so
Mm-hmm.
afraid. And people think it's crazy, but I went with friends. I was perfectly safe. And believe it or not, I'm going to go ahead and tell this story because my aunt still doesn't know. But I went to Kentucky and I told my aunt it was Thanksgiving or Christmas holiday, and I told her I
Mm-hmm.
was going there or going somewhere with friends for a holiday, and I went to Kentucky instead.
Mm-hmm.
And I went out there and I met new people. I business ventures. It was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I had the best time of my life, literally. But that was just one of the things. Like, that was the first time that has ever been told. So,
Mm-hmm.
ever. And then 4 or 5 years ago, I put my first picture on Facebook. And that's how my family found out I
Mm-hmm.
was ever a model. And now it's like they know, but they're like the family that does not want the spotlight. So I had to do makeup and stuff. And I was going to do it at my aunt's house
Mm-hmm.
so I could travel. And my aunt said, no, 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 no. All these cameras cannot come here. Like, that's not going to work. Like, that's no
Yeah.
way. Absolutely. My sister was like, she said no, just that's not, yeah.
Yeah.
So I had to make arrangements around it, which everything went great. I still got to travel. I still did what I needed to, but I was so pushed for time. It was crazy. But
Mm-hmm.
they're just the family that doesn't like the spotlight. They like their
Mm-hmm.
privacy, and I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
My brothers, my sister, my older sister, my older brothers, they all vouch for me as long as I'm doing it the right way. I'm not
Yeah.
selling myself. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
making my kids look bad. I'm not jeopardizing my life
Mm-hmm.
or can be in a position where something harmful happens. I'm okay. My family's great with it, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a situation where you're going up for a gig and somebody you've met along in the industry, she went up for the gig or he, and due to their ethics, they were able to get the gig and you wasn't, or vice versa, you got the gig because you was ethical and they wasn't ethical?
Actually, I actually had a recent thing that just happened where I traveled myself for a gig. I
Mm-hmm.
went across state lines and I got to my first, and my model manager had everything set up, everything was good. We had
Mm-hmm.
everything done. I went to this person that traveled here And I literally got there and he said, "You have a cold sore. I would not shoot with you." And I was like, a cold sore. I mean, you could not see it. I mean, it was insane. And it was so much money invested in that gig. I was so mad. My model manager and my husband made up for that. Thank God to have people behind my back that's like, no, you're good. We're good. It's all good. But one thing I'll say, I would never work with that person. I would never tell someone to work with that person. And I would never, what do you call it? I would never give that person a reference because I feel like I traveled all the way out here. My model manager knows this for work. And before I got here, you could have let me know, hey, these are the requirements. Even sickness, people will write that down. They'll say, if you're sick or I mean, they're probably not gonna say if you have a cold sore, but I wasn't sick. I had no allergy, no cough, no none of that. It was just cold outside. And it was so little, it could have been done over. I literally took a picture of it. And I was like, it could have been done over with because I had a gig before that and it was literally done while makeup was on it. And you couldn't even tell. You would never be able to tell.
Yeah.
And my model manager was so shocked. He was like, what? Like, are you insane? She's here. Like, it was a wild thing. That was actually recent. Maybe like a month or two ago. Yeah. It was crazy. It was insane. I got everything else done, but that was just one of those things where that was like that's probably the only time where I didn't get what was told to me.
Yeah.
In that sense. But of course, when you have a model manager, they will make up for those funds. So whatever I was owed, it got paid. But it's just like that person can never work with me again. Like I won't do it. And that was set up for my model. Like my model manager allowed that person to be able to work with me because at first I said no.
Yeah.
But I wanted to give them a chance at their work because it was still nice.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be like standoffish because some people I am standoffish too. But that's because, like you said, ethical and non-ethical, some people are very unethical where they want you to do stuff. You're not, I mean, maybe there's some people that will, but no. There's some things I just won't do. Like I have morals. So it's like, no.
How have you been able to navigate the business aspect of modeling and acting because the industry doesn't have a blueprint on how to do business? Like you said, some people require deposits, some people don't. Some people will communicate, others won't. Like you said, with what their requirements are. And like you said, there's also travel involved, there's makeup involved, there's time, there's turning down other gigs. How have you been able to navigate all those complexities? Because like I said, there is no blueprint on how to do business within the creative industry.
Well, we have it to where mine is on a paper. I signed a paper to work with anyone. Anything I do is on paper. I've signed my signature releasing this. I run those copyrights with my model man. There is no you take my stuff and do what it. No. If it's out there, believe you me, I and my model manager put this on here or out there. But if it comes down to a photographer coming and they want to shoot with me, they go through him always. We talk it over and see how we want to do stuff. And then from there, we come up with a amount for everyone. It's for everybody. Everyone's on the same page. And then we work from there. However, with this particular person, I was willing to give them a chance at releasing their own thing because they're building. Why not help the next person? That's how I look at stuff.
Yeah.
But also, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I see you.
Sorry about that. Also, It's just now we've moved to you have to pay a deposit with me. Now,
Mm-hmm.
now you have to pay a deposit because of that happen. That's never happened since I've been a model. But because that happened, at first it was a certain amount per hour. As long as you're hitting those amounts, we're okay. You got the paper, we'll sign it. We'll do that. But
Mm-hmm.
now, because that happened, now it's you're required to pay X amount before I
Mm-hmm.
show up, before I put anything on, before we do the shoot, everything. Before I sing, go to a studio with someone, help someone on a song, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's changed the whole thing. And it's not bad because it's a lot of changes going on in life now, and you kind of have to be that way.
Yeah. How
So
has the singing been working out for you? Are you hitting the goals that you want to do on that, or you're just using it as leverage for other opportunities?
I'm using that as leverage for other opportunities because that one can be sticky.
Mm-hmm.
I only say that because people will tell you one thing and it'll be something else. Whereas
Mm-hmm.
in modeling right now, for me, I run my copyrights, what I release, how I release it. I'm my own brand. But
Mm-hmm.
then I also am so good with that particular section in modeling where I can be branded.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the difference. With singing, it's a lot of stuff because nowadays people want your sound and they want you to do it this way and you get this little piece and you don't really have an agreement anymore. And people
Mm-hmm.
can sue you, they can be like this. But if it's mine and I produce this,
Mm-hmm.
you can't sue nothing. This is mine. So this if it's mine and my model manager and you use it or do something with it, I can sue you. That's the difference. So I kind of like took it as why sign myself over to someone when I can build myself?
Yeah.
And that's what I've done for 10 years. I've built myself to where it pays me, it makes me, it brands me. I'm eating, my kids are
Mm-hmm.
good. That's how I've done it.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily with someone. Now,
Mm-hmm.
am I in a contract with John Casablancas? Yes, I am. I have a 3-year contract with them. Now, that's where acting comes involved, where they're like, act this way, read this script, do this.
Mm-hmm.
That's where that comes in. That's why they're tagged on my Instagram because
Mm-hmm.
they're teaching me that. The stuff I did not really know about acting because I'm not perfect,
Mm-hmm.
trust. They're teaching, definitely. But with that, yes, absolutely.
What would you say has worked or been your formula of success to getting to where you are now? What key things have you done that worked for you?
I would say my key things that have gotten me to where I am is one, how I talk to people.
Okay.
Two, how I present myself.
Mm-hmm.
First impression is always important. I don't care what nobody tell you. And then also, people don't just look at me as a model because outside of modeling, I help my community.
Mm-hmm.
I help women and children. I'm not just a model.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a motivational speaker. I'm a person that will help give my last. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not stuck up.
Yeah.
Oh, I have this and they're homeless and I don't care. No, at never. That'll never be something where you'll read the blogs and be like, yeah, she's mean. It'll never
Mm-hmm.
be that because I'm always going to give back. I'm always going to give back to my community. Anyway, they could be starving. I'm going to feed
Mm-hmm.
them. If I see it, it's happening. Like, there's none of that. I feel like I'm a community leader,
Mm-hmm.
not just a model to some people. So some people, they look at me and they're like, oh, yeah, she's a model, but they can be themselves around me also. They don't
Mm-hmm.
have to be like when I get in the room, they don't have to treat me like official. Like, no, Daytona, what's up? Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's how they are. We can chill. We can watch movies. We can play the game. We can party. We can do this. We can do that. That's how I am in
Mm-hmm.
real life. So people will never be able to be like, oh yeah, that's her and blah 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 blah. Mm-mm, never.
Yeah. So then the opposite of that question, what are some things that have been like pain points throughout your career or things that didn't work out as well that you tried?
Um, I want to say things that didn't work out as well is me. I'm a leader,
Mm-hmm.
and I try to help people in their own type of group or environment. I
Mm-hmm.
had a group of girls, and I still have those girls. And I was the COO of it. And I tried to venture out and be like this girl group host for the club.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the owner of it, she it was monetary. I don't do well with that.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I pull up, I don't know how she pulls up. I pull up in black trucks, SUVs. I got security guards. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to monetary, I don't want to have to deal with that when it comes to an actual venue. Like that's not my I don't know. So I tried to be that older person for that group. We're all grown. And it just didn't venture well for me. And it might just have been that particular thing because I host in the club. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like, if you're a host, maybe having a group is just too much. You don't want to do that much.
Mm-hmm.
So I did back off of that. But the girls that were in the group, they do follow me. They love me to death. We talk every other week.
Mm-hmm.
There's no animosity at all. And of course, I got what I was owed, but it just wasn't for me. They're
Yeah.
still a group. I would never tell them to not chase themselves and their dreams and their goals. Don't you ever give up. But it wasn't for me because I have a different audience. I have a different support group. So
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't work for me.
What's something in industry that you would change if you had the power to change it? If you could, like, take your magic wand, and be like, "Ooh, I'm changing this," and then tomorrow it goes into effect. What would that be?
Honestly, because I get on these platforms and I hear these teenagers or these grown-ups, they do music, they do poetic speeches, they have different talent. Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
in the industry, it would be how they choose people because I see so much talent out here.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen it across all platforms, and it would be how they choose because when you look at it and they choose one person, I'm the type of person to be like, that's not it. I'm sorry. But then there's another person, and I'm like, wow, they don't understand. That person is just that person. I got on TikTok the other day,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a guy, I just met him, and he got in my live. And it was funny because I didn't realize that when you go live, I just made a TikTok 7 days ago. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
been 10 years out and I just made one.
Yeah.
And he came in and he was really cool. And he said, "Hey, can you play this for me?" And it was his music.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually liked his music. Whereas another person would be like, nah,
Mm-hmm.
this person. Because of honestly morals. They want you to do this, that, this, that. But I honestly look at it again for authenticity. Like
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that can be changed because I feel like they pick and choose.
Mm-hmm.
There is no pick and choose. There's non-talent and then there's talent.
Yeah. But basically, wipe away all the politics and stuff.
Yeah. It would be wipe that politic right away because they have so many like little things. Like, no, like that's not big. But that's another reason why I'm the way I am. I wasn't good because at first there were a lot of people that, oh, I want to brand you and oh, sign this. No,
Mm-hmm.
I did not. I have not signed anything until last year
Yeah.
when I signed with John Casablancas. 9 years
Mm-hmm.
or 8 years later. I before that I was strictly on my own, making my own money, doing my own thing. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
sharing nothing, and I still don't have to share. That is the contract that I'm in. I still don't have to share, but it's mine, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
just the creator. That's it. I love it. I absolutely love it. And one thing I can say is the people that I met in the beginning, they're not all here, but they let me know in the beginning, you will not be with these same people your whole time. You are going to go through changes. There are going
Mm-hmm.
to be new makeup artists. There are going to be new model managers. There are going to be new things until you settle. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
settled now, but I've had my mix, good, bad, all
Mm-hmm.
of it. And literally over time, I've met so many people, good and bad, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
good, whether it's bad, whether it's yes, whether it's no.
Mm-hmm.
But I've met so many people, and the people I've met have been, besides the ones I've told you about, have been nothing but pushing me. It's like
Mm-hmm.
every little inch, it's like, you got this, you got this. And there would be times where I was in the studio, I would literally cry my eyes out.
Mm-hmm.
Like it would be like, because I was such a stickler, and I'm still like this, but I don't have to be like this because I'm kind of used to it now and how I want it. But
Mm-hmm.
I would want it to be so perfect. I'm like a perfect person. Like this is not the picture, and I would
Mm-hmm.
just give up. I would walk out. I would, break down or whatever, and they
Mm-hmm.
would let me. They would let me. I mean, literally, that's what people don't understand. That when we're not in front of a camera and y'all don't see what y'all see, some of us is a little different behind the camera. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I yell and I get
Mm-hmm.
upset. Who doesn't? I have my moments, but that's just what it is. But the people that are behind me are behind me.
Yeah.
They'll sit there. They'll let me do that. They'll come back and they'll be like, "Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Let's do it again." And that is how I've made it this far. I've had so many good people that didn't want me to fail. Because there are some people that are put in there that they don't care if you fail or not as long as you're making them some money.
Yeah.
But I've had so many good people that are literally behind me and have
Mm-hmm.
been the whole step of the way. There are people that still check on me to today that I don't necessarily work with anymore, but we could collab, and they'll check on me. How are you doing? How's
Mm-hmm.
modeling? They'll bring it up. Are you doing good? I see your new stuff. That's how it
Mm-hmm.
is. We're so proud of you. Like, yeah, it's nice.
You mentioned the word collab, and I forgot to let the audience know we actually talked on threads. But I've been looking at threads here lately within the last couple of weeks, and I've been seeing that people are starting to get a negative connotation with the word collab, and that they're saying that the new collab is nothing but people trying to get access to others to get things for free or something like that. How do you feel about the word collab? And did you actually, what does collaboration look like to you?
Me, no, that's not what collab mean. That's their internet form of whatever they're trying to personify.
Mm-hmm.
But me for collaboration, I'm just that type of person though. Like me for collaboration, it's two people that have
Mm-hmm.
talent that come together
Mm-hmm.
that make something great. That's
Yeah.
it. You are a podcast interviewer. I am a
Mm-hmm.
model. We are coming together,
Mm-hmm.
building something, and we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
put it on platforms.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all gonna come watch it because y'all gonna come watch it.
Mm-hmm.
But that is what collaboration is. It's not supposed to be getting something for free. That's not, no. There are people out here that probably do that. But
Mm-hmm.
if you both come in agreement that this is what you're getting, technically it's not free. You get to be on someone else's platform while they get to be on yours. That is
Mm-hmm.
not free. I
Yeah.
don't know who said that, but no, that's not free. Some of them may not get financial benefits behind it. So maybe that's why they're saying it's free.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, if the littlest bit that you get out of it, honestly, that is what collaboration is. There's not always going to be financial behind it, and it does
Yeah.
not have to be.
Yeah.
If you're on someone's platform, honey, that is money right there. You don't know, honey, you don't know if you release a music video, and it goes viral. You just got your money. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I look at it. And I honestly think collaboration is a good thing. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's great, actually, because it's giving people platforms to speak, to show, to view. And
Mm-hmm.
honestly, like this platform, like I told you, I never speak to people about. I'm just a private person, like my family. Besides
Mm-hmm.
what I post on my social medias, of course, everyone knows I'm on there all the time. I
Yeah.
watch and look, and I'm here, and they know I'm watching. But it's just the behind it that
Mm-hmm.
I'm here, but I'm also how do you say it? I'm also I'm also doing my own thing
Yeah.
and working with my own people and building my own stuff behind the scenes.
Yeah. Definitely. Like, I love that, you know what I'm saying, you have that type of mentality, and that's how you view that word. And like you said, you an inch every day will get you somewhere. You know, some people look at stuff like, what do they get out of it? And I'm like, yeah, that's a selfish way to look at it. And I tell people all the time, even if one person knows about you that didn't know about you, that was a success, because you don't know where that will lead in
Exactly.
the future. And it's all
Exactly.
about building relationships and like networking for real.
Yes. You have to network. In the industry, you have, and I tell people that, and they don't have the patience for it.
Mm-mm.
They do not have the patience for it. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, just because in the beginning, someone else, I may have had a friend, they got 5 inches further than I did in modeling
Mm-hmm.
for a month. I don't care that I'm 5 inches behind you because when I get there, it's going to be great.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be for me.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm telling you, working up to these podcasts and these interviews, I've never done an interview. I've never done a podcast. This
Mm-hmm.
is all new. And I be telling people, it took me a while. It's next year is 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing an interview.
Mm-hmm.
Have y'all, like, it does not happen overnight. It doesn't.
It
It
doesn't.
will, it never will happen overnight. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
That if that happens is one hit wonder and they will never
Yeah.
be heard from again.
Yeah. 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 But
You
I've seen
want
it.
longevity in this industry. You want longevity in this industry. And that's not just modeling. That's modeling. That's music. That's entertainment. That's
Mm-hmm.
comedy. That's
Mm-hmm.
film. That's
Mm-hmm.
any industry. You want to inch. You want to inch because you want to learn. You want to learn. You want to make sure that when you're doing it, it's your own way of doing it. Because if you do it like everybody else, that's just everybody else's way. You're just
Mm-hmm.
copying. And most of it
Exactly.
is copying. But I decided to not do that. I'm official, baby.
Mm-hmm.
I do it my way. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I have my own way. And
Mm-hmm.
it's different for me because I can be many things, but I've trained myself to be that. Like they can put a wig on me and make me look like Marilyn Monroe because it's
Mm-hmm.
cute or because it matched me. They can put a mole on me and boop, bop, boop. I can do that, but I branded myself that way.
Mm-hmm.
I've done it. I'm okay with them changing me. It doesn't change my inner person. I never change. I'm still Daytona
Mm-hmm.
from the block.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm official. I'm a different version of myself than I was almost 10 years ago. But
Yeah.
I'm better. I'm better.
Yeah. Yeah. As you should be. So going forward, what do you want to achieve, like, within the next year, the next 5 years?
Okay, so the next year or the next 5 years, one, I am moving so much toward now that I have a TikTok. I don't know how to use it, but I'm using it. I've been posting little stuff, little 5 videos, whatever. I want to get more into motivational speaking. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because that has always been a goal for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but I want to speak to the youth. I want to
Mm-hmm.
speak to these kids. I want to speak to these teens. That is on my degree. I have that in my bag. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to use it that way. I didn't listen. I ain't stay getting no masters and bachelors and all that and go be some high maintenance. You can, but that ain't for me.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's more so using that platform and that degree to build my own platform of my own making. I want to speak to people on these platforms. It could be grandma. I want to speak
Mm-hmm.
to grandma. You just never know. You're speaking on these platforms. You don't know who it will reach. You don't know who it will touch. You have no idea whose ears are open to listen to you. So
Mm-hmm.
I want to get more into motivational speaking to women. These women, y'all need it, right? I
Mm-hmm.
understand. You go through stuff every day. You go through stuff every day. I can relate to it. I'm a mom. I've had nothing before. And that's what people don't realize. They feel like, some people feel like I boast. I don't boast.
Mm-hmm.
I've came from nothing and losing parents. to being that generational curse in my family to making it in the
Mhm.
industry where you cannot. It is impossible, almost
Mhm.
impossible, without some billionaire behind you. I
Yeah.
didn't have a billionaire behind me. I had me. I was not a millionaire, gazillionaire behind me. I was
Mhm.
just me. And I told myself, I'm gonna post a picture. I'm gonna post 3 pictures. I'm gonna post 5 pictures. I'm gonna build a portfolio.
Mhm.
And I built that portfolio until I had people traveling to come shoot me. And I kept building that portfolio. And then, you wanna know what? In the beginning, it was $50. It was $100. It was $20. It was $30. But you add that money up. And then you get a little bit bigger. And then you're like, okay, I can do $200. I can do $250 for this amount. I can build that up. And
Mhm.
then it's where it's 500, 1,000, blah, blah,
Mhm.
blah, blah, blah. You keep growing. But it didn't happen in 2 days. It did not. It would never. But I'm telling you, it takes time to get to where it is because I've literally started from having nothing, which is what people look and they're like, the people that know me
Mhm.
think they know me. They haven't seen me in 12 years, 13, 15 years. And they're like, oh, well, she don't have it or this and that. No, I'm not the type of person that comes around and because I have it, I'm going to fund your life.
Yeah.
That's not gonna happen. Like I earned it, so this is where I am.
Yeah.
I built myself up to that. But will I help people and want to be a motivational speaker for someone else? And do I invest in these donation charities for children around the world? Yes, I have. Do I help these other cities with kids and homeless shelters and foster children? Yes, I have.
Mhm.
And have I went around the city and I've seen it. I've seen mothers that their child is in NICU. They don't know if that baby's going to live or not. And I've helped those parents, that husband and wife, that mom and daughter, that mom and son, that
Mhm.
single parent. Yes, I have. And I'll do it again and I'll keep doing it because that's what I want to be. I want to be a leader. I want to be a teacher. I want to talk to people. I've done it. Last year before graduating, I got on a stand. I graduated from Georgia Gwinnett College. I don't mind telling you that because I ain't
Mhm.
there right now. So can't nobody go up there and be like, I'm coming for her. But I stood in front of it was over $500, 500 people in a room,
Mhm.
in a building.
Mhm.
I stood up there and it was for scholarships for my
Mhm.
school. I got scholarships. And my stuff was paid. Thank God. I had a good mom who passed on, but left me with the goodies. So I'm
Mhm.
blessed. But I also had my school.
Mhm.
They helped me. They, I was in the system. So they assisted where it was failure or where there was strain.
Mhm.
Um, and I went in there and there were leader officials. There were celebrities. My husband was with me. There were cameras. There was everything. I was dressed to the T. It was insane. I was pregnant with my son.
Mhm.
I got on a stand and I told people about my life. I told them how I did not have parents.
Mhm.
And I made a way out of no way so I
Mhm.
could be at this school because I wasn't going to let a simple failure fail me. And I got up there. I told a whole room full of people that night. The 5 of us that came and said our testimony, I met the school president.
Mhm.
I spoke in front of her. It broke hearts in that room.
Mhm.
I alone, out of everyone that came with me, raised over $12,500 toward a scholarship fund for my school.
Mm.
In all, we raised over $250,000 toward
That's
my
what's up.
school. That was last February. It
Mhm.
is on my Instagram. You can view it. I spoke. It was so many people. I was so nervous, but I had so many people backing me. It was insane. Everybody was recording. It was beautiful. And I'm proud because now that I'm not there and I'm graduated, somebody else probably gets a scholarship this year. And I'm proud because I had something to do with that. I have
Yeah,
something to do with a senior that gets to graduate in May. I'm
yeah.
proud of myself.
That's what's up. I'm like, that's an accomplishment in itself. So, things like that should be highlighted.
Yes.
So, for everybody out there that's going to be watching this and listening, if they want to go and look you up, check out your work, things you've done, follow your path, where do they need to go?
So all my names are the same. It is Official, Officxial_500. You can find me on TikTok now because I'm new. You can definitely find me on Instagram. You can find me on Threads. You can find me on Facebook, but I am under my maiden name. So you would have to go from Threads to Facebook. So I don't give that out. But if you hit me up on Instagram, I am always there, always on Instagram. And I am now live on TikTok as well. So if you can't catch me anywhere, you'll catch me live on TikTok at some point this week, today, tomorrow. You'll catch me.
One last question. Have you ever thought about like putting together your story, like in a documentary type style, and then to that capacity?
I have. I actually have. The only thing about that is you gotta find the right people that are willing to record it. So it's
Hmm.
like you want to find the right people and the people that are willing to listen. And
Yeah,
I have a lot more that can come to this table or come to any table about my life and a documentary series. And that would be one of the things that within 1 to 5 years, maybe that can happen.
yeah. I think that would be dope. So everybody out there, y'all make sure y'all go follow Official, and like she says, she's on Instagram, and check out that TikTok live. Definitely a lot of good content on there. Inspirational story. I keep following the platform, banked out underscore radio underscore show on Instagram, banked out radio show on Facebook, and for all the exclusives you can hear on Apple subscriptions.